So on the outside of trains in India, they print out your name if you've done a seat reservation. And these trains are literally like a kilometer or so long. It's just ridiculous.
We got on the train earlier today, and while we were waiting for the train to start going, a boy came up to us and he had a whole bunch of newspapers in his hand, and he started showing us the one that had is Hindi writing on it, and we can't read that. So then he pulls out the English one, and I just tell him we can't read, period. And he then takes out like a booklet that teaches you how to speak English and how to speak Hindi. Like, he caught me hardcore, and I was like, I still don't want it. And then he goes, picture book? And he pulls out a bunch of printed out pieces of paper that he's put into a booklet of hardcore pornographic material. Like, we've been in Japan for a really long time, and it's all genitals are blurred out of any pornographic stuff there. They're not blurred out here. Well, at least they're not blurred out when you handmade your own porno book. The kid was like 15, so I'm looking at a whole bunch of filth, and I'm looking up at this 15-year-old like, I don't want that, buddy. So today I got offered some pornographic material from a 15-year-old. Lovely.
I completely forgot about this until right now, but yesterday when we were in Varanasi, I saw a woman like on the narrow streets, and she was selling baby cobra snakes out of a big basket she had that had one big one in it. And it was like climbing around, and she had little ones in her hands, and they were like squiggling around in her hand, and it was probably the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
We've come to Khajuraho today because I read that there are tons of temples that have sexual sculptures in them, and we've hit our first one of the day, and it's already been pretty shocking. Most of these temples were built in the 900s, and it's a little odd to think that back in the day they'd be getting freaky. So I'll give you a peek of what we're looking at, and I'm sure there'll be more to come.
The amount of detail in this is just ridiculous. It's very intricate. The whole park is really, really beautiful, actually, and that's out of place in India. It's clean and it's pornographic. So this particular temple is about 1,000 years old and has 872 acrobatic sculptures. In case you're wondering what we're working with for toilets and stuff here, so we're wandering around this really nice park, and this is probably the nicest part of India I've ever been in. And it's a sign for toilet, and you're like, oh boy, a toilet. Look at that scary as hell little shack. So that's what we decide not to use all the time. Well, these temples are pretty much the only reason we came to this town, and they were definitely clean and detailed and interesting and perverse. And I guess we're going to try to arrange a way out of here, but we have no idea how or where we're going to go. So that's, I guess, what we're going to do with the rest of the afternoon. This specific piece of sculpture is a little bit suggestive. She seems a little embarrassed.
Are mushrooms safe in India? We're gonna find out. Look at the size of these mushrooms.
Look at the color of this pizza. Looks like it's got hot sauce on it.
It does look like it has hot sauce on it.
Yeah, light you up.
It's not hot sauce, but here we go.
So we're walking down the street here in this town because we're walking over to the bus station, and children here are touts, and this kid was like 15, and they try to get you to go to their school, and then they shake you down for money to give them a tour or give you a tour or whatever, yada yada yada. But he said, we told him we were from America, and bus. Okay, and he said that he's like one of those, you adopt a kid in a dirty country kids. He was like showing us his clothes, and he was like, yeah, Americans send me this in the mail. So he's like one of those, like, you know, you call and adopt a kid and send them cash and send them like clothes from Goodwill. We've met a recipient of one. India's awesome.
All I can say is that this looks like a good time. It is so hot outside, and we're just walking in the sun, and I'm so jealous of these water buffaloes just chilling in this mud pit. I want to jump in, but
Do it.
I'm not going to do it like Eric wants me to do it.
So we're in India right now. We were just talking about how crazy that is and how we're on the complete other side of the planet, and this is India. And then Katie has made a friend.
It's almost perfectly circular.
The culprit's behind you. Don't let anybody tell you India's a clean place. Where did Katie just go? Oh, joy. You would not believe how many people in this town are trying to sell us Kama Sutra books. So today is India's Independence Day, but if there were any celebrations, we're in the wrong place because we've asked and there really isn't anything going on. So we've missed out on whatever they do for their Independence Day, but we're kind of in a dinky town and it is what it is, oh well. But there's a bunch of lightning going on and maybe we'll get hit. That could be exciting. So this is our room right now. And the electricity is out, so it's going to be a little dark. And of course we've made our normal mess. And it's probably about 95 to 100 degrees in the room at the moment. And the bathroom smells really bad. But the room itself is reasonably clean. And let's see if I can find one. You can see these little specks. This little bug. There are millions and millions of them all over this city. Like at night they come out and they flock everywhere. And when you're walking, you're literally just crunching on piles of these bugs. They come out every night and they die. And a few of them get in the room, but it's not nearly as bad as it is out on the streets. It's madness. And there's not a whole lot else to say, but this room was $4.26 for the evening. So, I mean, there might be bugs, there might not be power, and it might be 100 degrees, but at least it wasn't expensive.
start right